talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking a from my boy heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And some room to work. And all the way down to the 9. 67 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see. First and goal, a good chance for our first touchdown of the new season. Here's White. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
On second and goal, Smith. His pass caught at the 4. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Smith on third and goal. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And the defense, Charles, they bent a little bit, but they did not break. And then on third and goal there, the huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them out of the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw here. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. Finding room at midfield. Down the sideline he goes. He stiff arms him. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Yeah, and we see this so often. There's excellent coverage downfield, so the quarterback makes a nice decision. Just flip it out to the flat and see what the running back can do. Plenty of space to roam, and he turns it into a big play.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be second and goal now. Jacobs again, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a fourth down. Well played.
The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Their first drive of the game, they were moving the ball okay, then the interception, but they only gave up 3 points the other direction.
Yeah, and that's a big relief for them because when you give up an interception like that, it can be such a momentum changer, but to only give up 3 on the back end gives you a chance to walk back out on the field, and while you're behind, it doesn't feel insurmountable at all.
Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be second down. Now it's Smith. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
First down, here's White. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they can let a tackler through.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down. 4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. We'll see what he can do on the return. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Once again, it's Jacobs, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Harris returning. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On second and a yard, Smith. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
And it's intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he fires one incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And a dump off to White. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. This is White on the screen. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Okay, so roughing the passer, and I've got to imagine that's the last thing you want to see week one is your quarterback taking an unnecessary hit.
I think you're exactly right about that. You hate it any week, but boy, are you on target. This is a unit that's depending on him to take him through 17 games, so you definitely can't let him get hurt right now.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They stay on the ground with White. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rashad White taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Buccaneers have taken the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. He's at the 40, the 20, and he will score. Touchdown, Raiders.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Throwing on third down, Smith. He completes it right side to White. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The final shot here before break. Smith. Looking downfield for Godwin. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And the Buccaneer defense for the second straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush. Here's A.J. Cole now, standing just about on his own goal line. So possession goes over here on the... That will come the offense as they take over. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 31. They run straight ahead here with White. And he's got it down to the 28.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Now back to the ground game with White. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try to put it in that way.
Once again, it's White. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Rashad White, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bucs are back within a score. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll power his way up near the 25. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And some room to maneuver. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 55 rushing yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 29. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He hits Adams, complete. Touchdown Raiders. Devontae Adams, 29 yards. And the Raiders are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Carlson on for the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here. They are in desperate need of finding the end zone. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. He'll look to throw. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. Running out of the gun with White. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28. They will run with White out of the shotgun. Down to about the 22 here. 143 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Opting to run again here with White. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rashad White with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bucs have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just over 90 seconds to play, and this would figure to be about as critical as it gets here. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown! A great play there with his first career touchdown and his first career game. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back.
He's got a man. Complete. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 20. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 57 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll go up the middle with White. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch. Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
CD, always a little extra excitement for week one and one of